One of those games in particular that were anxious to say the least to really pay attention to happens to be the game between Baylor and Texas A&M. The Aggies had a couple slip-ups this year. Baylor, well, since the last time we talked to this gentleman, we thought it was going to be kind of smooth sailing up until this point. They did have one blemish, that blemish being, well, Kansas State. Just struggled a little bit in that one. But you know what? They're back. They came back, pick up another win, and now they are going to be taking on Texas A&M, and it will be a war, to say the least. So to discuss this in depth, just one step further, we welcome back into the show Tyler Alley, the sports editor down there at the Baylor Lariat. Tyler, welcome back into the show, my man. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Tell me about how this game is going to go. I mean, that's what I really want to know. If you could decipher how this game in particular is going to go against the Aggies, tell me, define it. I mean, is RG3 going to step up again or what?
You know what? I think he's due. He had a good game against Iowa State, but not his typical stellar performance. He didn't have 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. He just had normal passing numbers. But I think he's going to go crazy this game. And I think really it's going to come down to which defense can step up, because both defenses are ranked lower in the NCAA. We're ranked I think 60th-ish in total yards. They're ranked 99. So both teams give up a lot of yards and a lot of points. So really I think it's going to come down to which team can finish in the fourth quarter, because as I said, both teams have had problems in that department with A&M against Oklahoma State and Arkansas, and with us against Kansas State not finishing games, and which defense can make that one big stop to really finish this game for their team.
Last thing I'll ask you before we let you go, you had mentioned it's going to be a shootout, but you didn't actually give me a prediction. You kind of worked your way around that. You said, okay, well, here's the problem. I'm going to steer around that. Let's go right into it. Give me a score, dude. I need it. What are we going with?
My prediction is 48-45. Baylor wins. Last-minute field goal from Aaron Jones.
We welcome him back into the show, Sean Lester from Texas A&M. He is also a writer for the Bryan College Station Eagle. Sean, what's happening, brother? How you been?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm glad to be back on.
What do you think is going to happen? I mean, in your honest opinion, what do you think happens in this one?
Well, I mean, it seems like it's going to be a huge game. I absolutely agree with you. You can't just look at A&M in this game. They obviously had more momentum coming into the season, maybe. They, maybe had a little more recognition, but Baylor's proven themselves to be a good team. Although the series doesn't show that against A&M, I think this game, obviously with it ending the series likely, will be huge. I mean, you've got a potential Heisman candidate on the opposite side of the field who's playing out of his mind in Robert Griffin III. So I don't think anyone can doubt them. I do think that A&M has a lot of improvements to build on. Obviously, after the last couple of games, they're last in passing offense in the nation, or defense in the nation, and so Robert Griffin and his compadres definitely pose a threat, and it'll be an interesting game.
So talk about that defense a little bit more, because obviously that has been the main topic of conversation. Clearly the offense can put up points. Clearly they can throw. Clearly they can run. Nobody is questioning that whatsoever. But a lot of people are looking at this defense, especially, as you said, the second halves, not being able to close out games. What is being said about this team down there? I'm sure, your friends, your colleagues have to be kind of a little bit weary about this team right now, right?
That defense is a question. They're doing fine against the run. No one really wants to run the ball against them because they know about the pass defense, and the secondary just hasn't stood up the way it was, lined up that they were supposed to. That has a lot to do alongside of losing Von Miller, a guy that could drop back into coverage and defend a pass as well, because there's some open routes that are just being left wide open in the middle of the field, and that's a position he would have, a void he would have filled.
But give me your prediction. Is it going to be a 3-point win in favor of Baylor, or are you kind of taking a different route?
I hate to be a homer, and I really don't want to be given that notion, but I really do think A&M pulls out, again, maybe a 3-point victory.